Alright, so I got one more video to do real quick. This definitely will be a quick one. I did a video the other day. I talked about the situation with Germany's gold and how they are now saying, you know what, we don't want our gold back after all. The government, of course, not the people. We don't want our gold back. The Fed, we really feel, has no reason to be, hasn't lied, has no reason to be non-trustworthy. So it's safe there. We're just going to keep it over there. Everything's good. And I mentioned, well, wait a minute. They were supposed to give you back 50, whatever it was, tons a year, but the first year was supposed to be 84 tons, and they only got back 5 tons. So there's the reason to say they're not trustworthy, as a matter of fact, and urgently make you want to get your gold back. When that kind of thing, hey, I owe you $100. I know today's the deadline, and here's like 25 cents. Excuse me? Or better yet, here's $5. Is that better? No, I need 100 of it. So I mentioned this video, and now the politicians, not all of them, but the ones who can request the gold be back, apparently, have said, you know what, let's just leave it over there. So Cliff High, Webbot owner, emailed me. He said, did you just do a video? He said, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but I saw the title about Germany now all of a sudden doesn't want their gold back and said the Fed can just hang on to it for now. He said, well, let's just put it this way. That's apparently going to be some propaganda, because in about 2 months or so, according to his data in the Webbot, about 2 months or so, the people in Germany aren't going to stand for that and are going to be demanding their gold back. And the pressure on the Fed's going to be pretty immense, something like that. So that's just one story, and I can, every time I think about this story with Germany and its gold, I think of all the other countries that have their gold stored with us in London as well. Sorry about your luck. But more importantly, who was the first person of all those countries? Who was the first leader or president or prime minister, etc., of all these countries that said, you know what, we really want our gold back. We're going to go ahead and ask for it back. Remember that movie Friday? I love that movie Friday. Yo, Debo, Pop's tripping. He wants me to ask you for my gold back. You know I wouldn't trip. What gold? The gold I let you. The gold I'm paying interest on, security fees on. The gold that's in your vault. The one I've been asking you about for 2 weeks. Oh, that gold. It's right over here, homie. I didn't know you wanted it back. Oh, yeah. It's kind of like it's both of ours. We're just going to keep it back at my place, though. Oh, okay. Wham! And he punches him. That's my gold. In other words, the United States. That's my gold, punk. You thought it was your gold. I won. Gave me my gold. You what? I lost. You can just hang on to it. I love that movie Friday. 1995. So, you have to side with the people. It's their gold after all. And can you imagine what's going to happen to these politicians when the day comes that they finally are forced by the people, due to the immense pressure put on them, to go get our gold back now? And they say, okay, Federal Reserve, we tried to let you guys keep it. It ain't happening. Man, we got to get that gold back. And then it comes out, we're going to have to paper settle. We'll give you the amount of money that your gold that was with us is worth. We'll give you that back in American dollars. And then you can go out on the market and get it. And then when they go out on the market to try and get it, it's going to be quite difficult to get that amount of gold all of a sudden. It's going to be real hard. And the people are going to say, where's our gold? They're going to say, we've requested it back from the United States, but the United States gave us cash money back. I think that would be so devastating that we won't do that. I feel we're going to go back to the old tried and true method of, let's give them fake gold back. Let's give them gold-covered, tungsten-filled bars, so that we can only have to come up with a tiny bit of gold to encase the outer casing of these fake bars. And hopefully they won't know. That's probably even more dangerous, because that in my eyes would be an act of war against an ally or any other country, ally or not, giving them fake gold back. At the same time, are you going to say, wait a minute, the United States says, wait, whoa, this is your gold, it has all your serial numbers on it, which of course you could easily refine them and restamp a serial number on it. You have the list of serial numbers of bars you receive from that country, so you do know the serial numbers. So you could smelt down a bunch of gold, or put the outer coating of gold on these tungsten bars and then stamp them with this original serial numbers that they gave you. Therefore, they look at them, they will not know any different. And if they said, hey, we drilled into some of these bars and they are filled chock full of tungsten, except for a little tiny coating on the outside, which is gold. Where's our gold? You better give it to us now. We're going to say, or we could say, well, how do we know you didn't send us those bars filled with tungsten in the first place? We didn't drill through your bars. We don't do that. We just store what you give us. And strangely enough, all of you countries, I don't know where you got your gold from or how you got it, but they're all filled with tungsten. And that's not our problem, because we didn't check them. We're just finding out from you right now that your gold bars are filled with tungsten. And this is news to us. Like I said, check your serial numbers. This is what you gave us. We could do that. And what could the rest of the world say? You're a fat liar. We didn't. The chances of the whole world giving you fake gold is slim to none, and yet you're telling us to believe that, right? So every little avenue out of this damn gold problem we're trying to get, we could potentially try to get out of, we can't. None of these things will work. And again, the final solution is the United States. We are done with you. We will never trade with you again. We don't care about your dollar. We don't care about anything. Get lost. Fine. Keep the gold. Pay us in your paper money, whatever. We'll buy back some goods from you with that money, and we will never do business with you again. I gotta tell you an old webbot prediction that had quite a bit of data. And it went along the line, I mentioned this before, it went along the lines of this is years ago, by the way. Before the death of the dollar, right now that's happening, was even nearly as noticeable as it is now. And it talked about the death of the dollar and things that would happen during this process. And it went on to talk about how he said, you know how we got all these men, military people specifically, in all these countries, all of our 170-something bases all scattered around the countryside of the world. When our dollar dies, he says, we're seeing things in the data that, for example, he says, well, the way I can interpret this, they want us out of their country. They're not happy with us anymore. So our guys get on planes to come back to America, and they try to pay for their ticket, even if it's government paid, try to pay for it, and are told, we don't accept US dollars. We only accept our dollar and X, Y, and Z dollars, not US dollars. Okay, but I can't even convert my US dollar. Yeah, sorry about that, but you have to deal with that. It's not our problem. And there's going to be a little issue where people can't even come back to the country. And I thought it was mostly military people, if I recall, because they're being kicked off of the bases that we have scattered around the world. So they have to go home. And there's quite a few people at these bases who would be civilian personnel. At the same time, a lot of military people do take private, or not private, but the public transportation as far as air travel to and from places. They don't always carry them out on some military aircraft to bring them somewhere. So that would be a problem. And I remember that very specifically. So you can kind of see where this could go in the worst case scenario of exactly just that happening. We are so desperate right now to continue paying all these countries their payoff money, from Pakistan to Iraq to everywhere, Egypt even, where this aid. We call it aid. Kind of like we call it campaign contributions, when really it's payoff money. Pay you off. I'll call it a campaign contribution because that's legal speak that I'm allowed to do. But really, I'm going to also attach this bill I want you to pass into law. And I'm giving it to some of your most esteemed colleagues as well, with campaign contributions to them too, also known as payoff money, so that you could all get together and pass this bill into law, which will save my company $700 million a year in fees and taxes I'd have to pay. Oh, okay. So this is the same thing. This is payoff money. We call it aid to other countries, which ultimately will stop. And the second that money stops will be the second those countries turn on us and expose everything. And then they're going to have problems of their own to deal with, because the people in their own countries are going to say, wait a minute, you've been working with America, therefore you're a puppet who has been put into place by them, and now that they don't want to pay you any more money, hush money, now you're going to say something? Oh, we know who you work for. And then they're going to overthrow that sorry son of a gun. What's the old Bible thing? Rumors of wars and rumors of wars? Yeah, I think it's coming. Take care.